Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasya Lakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence. All these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now, humanity.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained, power manifestation is raising your frequency, command over the reality. How you experience Paramashiva, Sundareshwara Paramashiva as your reality. It's a science because millions have experienced it, and each one of us can have a superconscious breakthrough. Manifesting these powers of Paramashiva, Bhagavan has beautifully given us the pramana, the evidences of how the manifestation happened in millions and how it can be happening in each one of us, having the cognitive shift. The science of our manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, Vedas, the pure science, Agamas, the applied science. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of millions of Aptas. Aptas are rishis, munis, ganas, nainamas, alvas, siddhas. All of them are authority of Hinduism, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Having the cognitive shift, not just the rishis, but also a home grooming person were able to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. They live in highest reality, manifesting all these great signs. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of our manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leela to showcase how a cognitive shift can manifest you into the superconscious being, becoming Sundareshwara Paramashiva as your reality. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva, initiated by Bhagavan himself of our manifestation. Bhagavan has beautifully said, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, he himself will be available, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva in each one of us as prasada. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan has beautifully given us the scientific facts, how the thoughtlessness arises, and simply we can see that scientific detail, how the manifestation is scientifically measured and it's so authentic, all these power manifestation. It is not some whims and fancy, but attested by the scientific study. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. The Shastra Pramana for the power of teleportation. This is from Spandakarika, Section 3, Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4, 3.5.
अवधानेऽपि चेतसि भूयः स्फुटतरो भाति स्वबलोद्योगभावितः तथा यत्परमार्थेन येन यत्र यथा स्थितं तत्तथा बलमाक्रम्य न चिरात् सम्प्रवर्तते.
Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully explains the science of static matter, dynamic activity, and strategic existence. How he explains in this sutra, indeed, just as an object or static matter, which is in spite of having all the attentiveness of the mind, is perceived and seen indistinctly at first, then appears and manifests more distinctly and clearly when observed through the strength of one's visual power. When the yogi restore to the power of spanda, the third eye, the dynamic activity in its highest essential nature of oneness with Paramashiva, then whatever thing or object or ideas which is static matter exist in the highest dimension, in whichever form, wherever, in whichever place or time, in whichever state or dimensions, then things or objects are at once appears and manifest the very way, the nature of strategic existence. Don't worry, it is not complicated. It just says a lot of things about how static matter, everything that exists is static matter, because everything that we understand as matter, our body, our mind, everything we see as matter, we live in the materialistic world, the Maya matrix, and everything that is matter is Paramashiva, that which exists. And Parashakti, one who is able to manifest a reality through all this, is Parashakti, the dynamic activity. All that is happening is Parashakti. And beautifully, That is, whole thing is decided on what cognition you possess. Bhagavan beautifully explains how strategic existence, our will, makes the whole differences. Our body is not the same body that we use it in the deep sleep. Bhagavan beautifully says it's a karana sarira, that is which is just black darkness, akasha. There is no gender, there is no security as job, or there is nothing. But we want to go into the nothing every night without fail, and everyone in the world enters into that karana sarira. And that which doesn't have the body nor the mind. And every day we enjoy the most. If you ask people all over the world, what is that which makes you happy? They will simply say, every day, even if they get up at 2 o'clock and see the time, they are so happy that they may have more hours to experience more of that state. And nobody says they are sick and tired of sleeping. And that is the karana sarira that we use, the body that we use. And then the dream body. We all know in the dream we have so many bodies that we use. And that also is not the body. We don't wake up and go into the dream. Rather, we are lying down and some other body is what we are possessing. And then when we wake up, we get into this body. Bhagavan says this body is just like how you have a car in the house. This is also not you. Then who is that? Who is you? And the mind runs based on how you have the will persistence. Even now, science is not able to figure out this strand of DNA or this strand of the cell which is giving the color blue. They still have not any idea where it comes from. But everybody knows if you say this is blue, everybody knows it is a blue. Still science is, it's a mystery to the science how it is stored in our system, because they could not detect to that extreme cell. But they have found out that simply how the will persistence we can manifest the powers. When you are more into the outer world, which is only to wake you up, Bhagavan beautifully says, all that bad dream that you have, even the worst dream where you have an accident, when it wakes you up, it does not destroy you, it only wakes you up. And the same thing he says, all that is happening in this world is only to wake you up to the higher reality, that you are Sundareshwara Paramashiva. Waking up to that reality by ourselves is power manifestation. When life gives a root shocks and wakes up, then it is a trauma where we don't know where to go and we are still stuck. Or it is death itself where we have missed the complete cycle and we have to again be born to experience the Paramashiva in us. This great science is revealed, Bhagavan has beautifully given us for us to understand the greater reality in such a simplest way. Here you can see the Apta Pramana where Baba is materializing all these from just thin air and manifesting the reality, teleporting, materializing. When Swamiji asked, Bhagavan asked how he is manifesting all these, he simply said, when I look at that person, my hand shakes and whatever appears, I give it to that person. All this great science is available to all of us. When we connect to the higher dimension of us, we become the quantum and we manifest all the great science, manifesting our reality. That is what Bhagavan says. Two other powers, the gravity power represented by the deer, and then the electromagnetic power, the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force by the beautiful blessings that we got. And he said two more powers, that what you attract and what you manifest, the power manifestation itself as the reality. Bhagavan beautifully explains of the power manifestation that his guru initiated, and he experienced how he listened to his guru and manifested the power immediately. Bhagavan himself speaks.
And how the baby is washed with the soap and how the baby has been beaten. I'll finish telling the story, then I'll explain, because the story has many keys, sacred secrets. In the temple, he made me sit and taught how to loosen yourself from the different nerves. It is a simple conscious decision of not getting attached. Nothing else. It's a simple technique, conscious decision. I'll explain the technique in a very detailed, elaborate way. And he taught me that. I sat and practiced maybe for half an hour. I must be maybe 12 or 13. That must be the age, or maybe 14 also. But surely when I was living in Thiruvannamalai, I left Thiruvannamalai by 14 and a half. That means for the diploma of mechanical engineering, 14 and a half, that is the time I left. Left means I used to stay many days in the Polytechnic. So we both were walking after the Samyama. We were walking to go around the hill. On the way, one government hospital, Thiruvannamalai is government hospital. Those days it was a small, now it has become big. Government hospital. We were walking in that way. Throughout the way he was talking like you try this Samyama on somebody and try to prove that you are able to do it. I was thinking what to do. Suddenly when we were crossing the government hospital, I saw a nurse walking fast inside the hospital. You know, in those days nurses will wear that long white dress. Immediately I told this Raghupati Yogi, I will do Samyama on her. Very elderly lady, maybe 50 or 55. I just did Samyama on her, but I was not able to get into her body completely. I was only able to connect with her eyes. Because the Samyama which I practiced morning, I was able to loosen myself only from the eyes. That is the part first gets loosened. Because that is the part through which you relate with the world, more than 80%. So that got loosened in me. I was able to enter into her eyes. But I couldn't control or do anything other than the eyes part. Raghupati Yogi also understood. But he wants to check whether I am able to do it properly. Then after that, we sat there itself in one corner. She was attending a delivery. I described the whole delivery exactly. How the baby is coming out, how she is attending, and what all the equipments are used, and how the baby is washed with the soap, and how the baby has been beaten, how she held the baby. Everything I described in a very detailed way, because I am seeing through her eyes. End of the delivery, after she did everything, the relatives of the mother were waiting outside. The moment she came out, they gave a silver tumbler to her as a gift. I saw that also. I described the whole thing to Raghupati Yogi. Raghupati Yogi was convinced, yes, I am able to do that Samyama. She just inserted that tumbler in the hip to hide from the other doctors and officials. Raghupati Yogi wanted to check the power of my Samyama. When she came out, he took me. Raghupati Yogi took me inside the hospital and asked me to tell who is the nurse and where she is keeping the tumbler. I said, she is the nurse and she is keeping the tumbler here in the hip. Raghupati Yogi went and asked, did you get the silver tumbler as a bribe? She was shocked. And he said, you are keeping it in your hip. She was completely shaken. She said, how do you know, Swamiji? He said, I saw with my mantra power. And he spent some 2-3 words. He told some 2-3 words. She was shocked and she touched his feet and she went away. Then later on, Raghupati Yogi took me inside that place where the baby is there. I described before that itself, Raghupati Yogi, there's some of the body marks and how the baby looked and all that. Went and saw inside, checked, everything was perfect. As I described, the small cart in which they keep the baby, that swing, everything was clean. Then I asked Raghupati Yogi, why I am not able to do the Samyama of the whole body? Why I am not able to enter into her body completely? Then he said very beautifully, first thing, the samyama is just to awaken that intelligence in you. Second, you are a conscious birth. If you enter into her whole body, even if you come back, she will become an incarnation or enlightened. Even if you step back, she will become enlightened. So that cannot happen. This is just to awaken your own powers to you, to remind you that you can do this.
So beautiful. The Apta Pramana, Atma.
Bhagavan beautifully said how we can awaken the powers and how we can introduce to ourselves when we raise to the higher frequency. Now you can see how the devotee has teleported the Bhasma from one cup where you see much of the Bhasma and the other cup only the spots that are seen. And beautifully the whole science is when you connect to the higher reality, you start experiencing the oneness with Paramashiva and manifesting as powers. Now, each of us can experience this great science when we connect to Sundareshwara as Paramashiva, the auspicious darshan, the boons, and all that Bhagavan is showering for each one of us to make us understand this very science of power manifestation into the higher realities. Now you can get the camera set with a timestamp. If you have the Jnananjan in the Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temples. And you can have in one cup the Bhasma, Kumkum, turmeric, sandalwood, any Jnananjan, all this, and you can have the other plate or cup completely clean. But most of the time it appears on your hand, it appears on the laptop or in your body. So make sure everything is completely clean and take a picture of it so that you don't get any self-doubt about the whole thing. Beautifully, Bhagavan is given the instruction for us to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Sit straight with the head, neck and spine. In the whole Kundalini raises to your Agnya. Again and again, bring your awareness to your third eye. The lower three chakras are only for the reactionary world, which is only the toxin. The more and you do it detox, you're going to be in the space of thoughtless and weightless space, continuously in such a peace. And that beautiful space you can experience just by detoxing your body again and again. And bring your awareness to your third eye, the visualization, verbalization as only Paramashiva, Parashakti, Sundareshwara as your reality. The more you perceive, this is the frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex, which is the as per science, which creates your reality, perception, what you're having. And if you have Sundareshwara as your perception, it's the most auspiciousness and abundance, even a glimpse of it in your third eye. So bring yourself to your power of third eye, bringing awareness. The minute you are aware, you can feel the tingling in your third eye. That's the power of the third eye. If you talk about your thumb or your leg, you don't feel anything. But the minute you feel about your third eye, it becomes because it is the awareness center. It's become active and alive. And visualize only Sundareshwara, Paramashiva as your reality. Absolute unclutching from anything that you know as your thoughts, which is getting you engaged. Do not engage in anything other than Paramashiva. Bhagavan clearly said, only surrender in this pralaya. All you need to do is surrendering is nothing but not getting yourself engaged in all the confusion, chaos created by the materialistic world. Unclutch from everything, lockdown, complete lockdown. At least for a few minutes, only be in the space of Paramashiva. He's already occupied. There is no more space. Tell very clearly. Whatever thought happens, do not engage in that. Absolute unclutching and complete completion. That happens more and more you understand the higher reality. How Bhagavan said, nothing is lost. When you wake up from your dream, even though you are hurt completely in an accident or something happens, you just wake up. Same way, all the struggle that you're going through in this world is just to pull you out of the delusion. Let go. That is what Bhagavan said. And contribute to others' life. Again and again, let go and contributing to others' life continuously. You will start seeing your higher dimensions as Paramashiva. Complete completion starts happening in you when you share more and more for others, doing the Tyaga that you are Paramashiva. Heal for others, time for others to manifest the reality, everything enriching, causing for others, and more sacrificing your identity just for the others to raise in their identity is nothing but your own self experiencing the Paramashiva. And intensely chanting the Mahavakya, raising yourself into the higher frequency. Bhagavan said how you attract other beautiful things in your life. If you entangle with Bhagavan continuously in the Samadhi space, you are attracting the highest auspiciousness and abundance. And chanting the Mahavakya, the whole key of our manifestation, you listening to the chanting continuously and merging into the Bhagavan's lotus feet in deep gratitude, you will experience the oneness with Paramashiva and manifest as powers. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from our navel center, the whole being manifesting and vibrating continuously, merging into Sundareshwara, just the beautiful darshan that we had. Only have the visualization, verbalization of Bhagavan, Sundareshwara, Paramashiva as your reality for few minutes and experience the great prasada that Bhagavan is offering all of us to experience. Now let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Beautiful. Whatever you have manifested, take a picture of that. We can share it at the end of the cycle. All this, when we do it authentically, we understand that there is something beyond our body and mind, the Paramashiva space, who we are, how we go into the deep sleep and the dream state. Again and again, Bhagavan is telling us, we are not the body, we are not the mind. We are Paramashiva, and waking up as Bhagavan himself, as our reality, we can manifest all the auspiciousness, abundance, and all the powers of Paramashiva. Again and again, he is initiating us into that beautiful space for us to understand who we are. All the avatars come down to make us experience that very core of who we are. The greatest happening of the humanity, where we are blessed to be here among all the pralaya that's happening around us, and getting blessed by Bhagavan and manifesting powers in this pralaya is the highest possibility that Bhagavan has given us. In spite of whatever happens, we are able to surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet, whatever we are going through, and raising into more and more oneness with Paramashiva. That is the ultimate gift that Bhagavan has given. Be in the beautiful space of oneness. Again and again, raise yourself to the Sundareshwara Paramashiva into your third eye. Again and again, visualize Paramashiva and be in the bhava. Sit with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. How Bhagavan said, on your neck there is 25 heads. Sit as Sundareshwara Paramashiva, as the reality, and be alive and aware and entangle with Bhagavan and intensely chant with the deep listening. And the listening will put you into the beautiful space of oneness, raising you to the higher frequency. Even few minutes you are able to experience, few seconds, Bhagavan says, you will simply manifest the abundance and auspiciousness and complete completion and healing in an extraordinary way. All the blessings showering from Bhagavan simply becomes our reality. So let's have one more cycle with a short cycle of chanting the Mahavakya and experiencing the power of teleporting. Let's start chanting the Maha intensely with the intense listening.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Such a beautiful space. Please open your eyes, and whatever prasada you have received please share it in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. Again and again, whenever Bhagavan offers all this great science, simple integrity, simple obedience, simply will make a life much more easier and much more beautiful. Contribute to others' life, enriching and causing as your very core. All the avatars, all of them, the greatest happening is only contribution. When Ramana Maharshi sees even a buffalo or any devotee, he sees only as Arunachala and keeps his door open 24/7 for anybody to come and get blessed. All the avatars are waiting to enrich and cause and see at least one of them will be enlightened by this great science that he said and contribute by others' life by enriching and causing in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. You can see in Courtyard Manifesting Power page, so many have shared, and you can like it and share it, even those posts. When you share others' post, simply you are making others understand that the Paramashiva space in you is expanding and more sharing with others that they are also thanking Bhagavan for all this great science that he's showering on us. Maheshwara Puja, Sundareshwara, Paramashiva, Darshan, and all the powerful cognition and power manifestation sitting and making sure each one of us is manifesting our reality. That is the greatest gift by Bhagavan to planet Earth. And if you see a dollar sign, thank you so much. If whoever is offering, Hamsama, thank you so much. And all of you who are offering to Bhagavan at lotus feet again and again to Kailasa, it really protects you. Whatever you offer, n times it showers on you. All this great science is understood only when we start offering and contributing and engaging ourselves to others' life rather than ourselves. Me will simply disappear and only Paramashiva will exist when you start contributing to others' life. So let's thank Bhagavan with a deep gratitude and earning that Paramashiva, Sundareshwara Paramashiva, to become our existential reality. And thanking each and every one of you all over the world, hundreds of people sitting here and manifesting all these great powers. Thank you so much for being here. And let's end the session with a Purna Mantra with a deep gratitude. Let's sit straight. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you at 6 p.m. in Kailash Courtyard in the Zoom session.